What do we call this in our country? In north of India, we call it palna. But honestly, it often becomes a career deciding platform. Sounds funny, right? This cradle becomes the starting point of a script the child never agreed to perform. In our culture, a child is born free, but raised imprisoned by expectations. Before the child can even open his eyes fully, futures are whispered into his ears. डॉक्टर बनेगा, इंजीनियर बनेगा, आर्मी में जाएगा, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर बनेगा. Dreams, dreams, and dreams. Not of the child, but of parent, relatives, and society. And no one asks the child, no one, what really makes you curious? What makes you come alive? And this is exactly where the death of dreams begins. Not in poverty, not in failure, but in fear. Fear of disappointing those we love the most. Let's ask ourselves, how many of us grew up living a life that wasn't entirely ours? Certainly, I was one of them. I was born in a small village named Khalaua in Agra, Uttar Pradesh. I come from a family of farmers. In my growing years, I traveled to various places every few years because of my father's profession. It was quite challenging to adapt to new places, culture, languages, and friends, but it made me independent. Being the eldest son of a family comes with immense pressure and a silent expectation to be the one who fulfills family's aspirations. My father, too, was the eldest in his family. And despite all the financial struggles, he rose to become an officer in Indian Air Force. His journey shaped his dream that I would also follow in his footsteps and serve the nation as he did. And I can understand from where his expectations are coming from. But I chose a different path to work with marginalized. I started to question norm I once accepted blindly. And as I began to think independently, my father grew increasingly uncomfortable. Because that's not what he had envisioned for me. Even though it was rooted in the very values he hoped I would learn. Sometimes I sense his regret for sending me to study further, as if my choices betrayed his hopes. And I felt hurt by his lack of understanding. And perhaps he sees me as a wasted potential. What we call parental love often hides under the layer of control, protection, and image preservation. We know what is best for you. We are doing this for your future. What will people say if you fail? These are not just sentences. These are emotional handcuffs. What starts as care slowly becomes a cage. This overprotection paralyzes children. They grow up without the tools to decide for themselves, to take ownership of their failure, and to explore who they really are. Parents want to keep their children close, but unknowingly, they push them away. And all of this is happening when both the generation stare into an equally uncertain future. Let me show you something. Every year, millions of young people across India spend their prime years in preparation for government exams. Exams that by design can only employ a fraction, less than 1%. And yet, the race continues, generation after generation. This is not just a statement of failed aspirations. It is a reflection of something deeper, of a society that measure the worth of a child in jobs, titles, not potential. In a welfare state like India, public education was meant to be a great equalizer, a great equalizer. But today, it functions more like a sorting mechanism, one that filters, ranks, and excludes. Children are taught what to think, not how to think. Learning has been reduced to grades and curiosity has been replaced by competition. The result is a generation that doesn't know how to decide for itself. This is not just an education crisis. It is a relationship crisis as well, between parents and children, between learning and living. Now, for a moment, just imagine a society where children are not treated as trophies. Failure does not bring family shame, and homes foster dialogue, not judgment. Wouldn't that free both the generations from the emotional burden and nurture them into more confident, healthy, and purpose driven individuals? At KB Trust, we are aiming to build an inquiry based experiential learning that brings children, young adults, and parents together on a shared journey of growth. At its core, we believe that learning begins with trust, flourishes in curiosity, and sustains through compassion. Through our 6D process: discover, define, design, develop, deploy, and deliver, we are aiming to cultivate future-ready skills in our generation of learners, like critical and creative thinking, problem solving, social and emotional resilience, adaptability, and the most important, taking responsibility of own actions. Here, parents and children will come together to understand each other's perspective. Parents will learn about child development and trust-based guidance. And children will understand the meaning of responsibility through real-life projects. Both the generation together will co-create small eco projects like model making, rainwater harvesting pit, organic farming experiments with farmers, artisans, and entrepreneurs. And all of this will be documented through a film that will be showcased in a family film festival in the cultural setting of rural community. Throughout my speech, you have heard about children, right? But it's not entirely about them. It is about us as well. When a child stops dreaming, it is never the child who failed. It is the mirror they grew up looking into, the adults, the society, and the system that told them again and again who they were allowed to be. So before you leave this hall today, I want you to do one thing. Look into the mirror of your own lives and ask yourself, have I been a guardian of curiosity or a jailer of dreams? And the answer to that question is what will decide the future of our children. Thank you.
As your father is here, I would like to hear about the impact. What was your impact when your son came to you, and did it change something Yes, sir.
There.
I want to say something.
This is our flag.
Earlier, before some days or years, 2, 3 years or 4 years, I have compelled him to do something as some job, government jobs or somewhere else, because of he was interested to work in social sector. But within a year, I understand his motto, what he wants to do. Then I realized that everybody is doing on this earth what everybody is doing. But my son has started to do now something in a different way. So today I can tell you, and I can assure my son also, that I am proud of my son. And I assure you again, then full of my life, I will support his motto and his work.